is smart.
How Lucky teaches it. It keeps people involved and stuff. Just, you have to do the reading so you know everything that he's going to talk about. And lab, everything. Like, I don't enjoy like not having someone there to like tell us everything.
Whole meeting, like unlike the other group, to be fair, like whenever they say like, "Oh, did you guys meet already?" We're just like, "Yeah." Did you guys start? Yeah. Did you guys start like a month early? Yeah. It's kind of like that. We're all like, it's like we're all trying to get toward as high grade as possible, like for our topic, instead of going like just mutation. We're going to mutation and virus.
The goal of this film is to identify behaviors within lab groups that do not positively impact students' learning. We will then, through the use of a mentor, try to correct these behaviors in one of the two groups and see how this affects the group's overall performance in lab. Dr. Noreen M. Webb from the University of California, Los Angeles, has pointed out some behaviors in small group settings that have been shown to negatively impact student learning. One such behavior that we noticed within the two groups is what she defines as the passive behavior. Passive behavior was defined as lack of any discernible involvement in the group task. The relationship was negative. Merely observing other students' work, activities, and listening to other explanations was not sufficient to learn the material. As you can see in the footage, there are students in both groups that were not actively participating in group discussions or group activities. They would also at times be off task, another behavior Dr. Webb points out in her paper as having a negative impact and should be noted. Our hope is that throughout the class, we will be able to have a mentor specifically help the group in becoming a more cohesive group that works well together. This, in theory, will happen faster than would have without intervention, which will result in one group being more successful within the class than the other. Alright, so like, what do you think about lab and how everything's going so far?
So, I mean, in lab itself, everything's going pretty well, I think. Far ahead, we got bands in two of our different gels, and we're working on our third one, and I think this is going to be our last one for this one, and we're going to have to defend it. But outside of class and the manuscripts and all that, it's been kind of frustrating, because three of us are working really hard on our parts, and then there's just one group member that isn't really putting in the same amount of effort as we are, so we have to like kind of make up for it, and sometimes we just don't have time to. So.
Okay. And is the difficulty with that that they're like off task, or is it more of a like passiveness where they just aren't really engaged in what you guys are doing?
It's more passiveness, like they won't respond in the group chat messages, they won't start their work until like the last minute, or like when we come into lab, they won't, like they don't know what to do, and they just sit there and like copy down our procedures and stuff. They don't really do anything. So.
Okay.
Like he says, like a tidal wave that like first is like it's just like god awful, it gets worse and worse. Now it just like it seems somewhat steady with like little builds now and then.
Alright. I mean the one other group, yeah.
I think like at first I thought we were on task more, but like I realized we just like asked the same like questions. Like you guys probably hear it, like we basically ask the same questions like over and over. So like I'd say we're actually about like on par.
Though we could plan a little bit better ahead, do a little more individual research and stuff like that. I think would benefit us, but I don't know if that's necessarily working together rather than being productive.
Yeah. so that kind of answers my last question, which is, does your group work well together?
Yeah, take as many as you need, man. Just take the whole thing. I'm done aliphatic stuff into my gel after this. Or at least while it runs.
Since May.
So you're running your gel now, Zarshed?
Yeah, we're just testing to see.
I'm gonna do a little impromptu interview.
Okay.
How's everything going?
It's going pretty well, actually.
Has the group been working better lately,
Well,
or?
3 of us, yes.
Okay.
We've been having a little trouble contacting our fourth group.
So is there something you think that I could try and do to make more people accountable? Is there some way through me filming and mentoring you think I could make everyone in the group more accountable, or is that something?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Is there something you would like me to do to try?
Like if Lucky or anyone of the LA saw these videos or anything, like saw the interviews between all of us, I think they'd figure out who was not only.
How do you feel about the group?
I feel like we have a solid group when we all work together.
Does that happen often?
Most of us work together the entire time. Yeah, we gotta take it in there.
I mean, I see the lab. Oh, I'm getting.
When you watch our group, what do you feel about it?
No comment. Okay. How do you think your group works together?
I say we work together. Per se.
Okay.
But I do feel that my voice do go on the other side. Probably because I am the only female.
Okay.
I'm the only minority in the group.
Okay.
So I would say we work for the best that we can. But not. If I had to choose, I probably would work like this ever again.
Okay.
Only time that my voice don't get heard. Like say, I give you the example like, hey, we should use a bigger like test like over tip. I'm like, no, it's okay, it's fine, it's fine. And then they'll do it a couple more times. No, it's not what you like to hear. We have to use a bigger one. I'm like, no, we're good. And then man, oh, we should use it. And he's like, good job, man. You did great. And I'm like, you just said this 3 times already. And I do it. So it makes me so
Okay.
not want to speak as much because I know my voice won't say something.
Okay. Okay. And then, so I'm gonna try and help like mentor, guide your the group from here on out for the next couple weeks to try and help you guys make some more progress. Is there anything in particular you think that I could do to help make the group work better, or?
To be honest, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Because it's like something that's hurting, like it's just something that's given to there have a dominant role. I don't think there's something that's like automatically invisible hand pushed upon.
Okay.
I mean, you can try to let you be at the same time if it's a habit.
Okay.
So after a habit, it becomes a protocol real thing. So it's not something you can change.
Okay.
Unless they want to change.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That was a good interview.
Oh yeah. Science is a bit. Science is wrong sometimes.
Alright, so the first question is, are you glad that you took this class?
Yeah.
That's it? You want to elaborate on that? Why are you glad you took this class?
It's fun.
It's fun? Okay.
It's interesting. It's
Yeah.
like I want to learn about diseases and all of this stuff, and I'm learning what I wanted to
Yeah.
learn about. So
You like it? Yeah.
yeah.
Makes sense. Alright. Okay, so my next question is, did your group work better together as the semester progressed?
Yeah.
Yeah, work better together? Alright. Do you feel that your group accomplished the goals that they set for themselves?
I don't know what the goals were. I'm gonna just say yeah.
Yeah, you got where you wanted to be? Alright.
I mean, we could be done with the project, but
Yeah.
I think we are doing good.
Yeah, there's always...
I don't remember what the goals were. There were goals, but yeah.
Alright. My last question is, what advice would you offer?
Utilizing the work of Julio J. Ramirez's article in the Journal of Undergraduate Neuroscience Education on the effective mentorship of undergraduate science students, we hope to help the struggling group achieve its goals by instilling a sense of independence that comes from having confidence, deep knowledge, and well-developed skills. An individual mentor has capabilities beyond those of a learning assistant or advisor by being able to more thoroughly analyze a student's areas of expertise as well as their shortcomings. Based on the spread of the group, 1 female of color to 3 white males, we thought that her underrepresentation within the group would play a larger role in the group's dichotomy, but it did not present itself until the end of the semester. Even in the presence of the mentor, the group did not ask questions when facing a new challenge. Instead, they chose to struggle or divert to other in-class learning assistants. When the mentor inquired what could be done to help the group, the 3 males said that the female should be held more accountable for her inaction, where the female had almost entirely given up, citing her gender and ethnicity for her shortcomings within the group, and that the rest of the group members actively avoided her input into the lab process. This left the mentor in a position where it was nearly impossible to stimulate a cohesive group environment. The night lab was intended to be the successful group in that they did not need individualized mentorship, but they made a critical error that could have been averted with the addition of a mentor's insight. For weeks they got results after running multiple rounds of PCR and gel electrophoresis, but they were instructed by a learning assistant that an area of the gel was empty where the resulting PCR product should be, when in their case this was not true. After finally figuring out this mistake by the learning assistant, 5 weeks later their progress was severely shunted. The night lab group was a good diversity. They had 2 males of color and 3 females. This environment offered an outlet for any individual's voice to be heard by someone else, unlike the conditions of the group in the day lab, where one was left feeling like an outsider who could not contribute. Even though the night lab's failures and shortcomings, they were able to come together in the end of the semester to coordinate their research into a poster that was able to win first prize at the undergraduate research symposium.